Now, unfortunately, we're coming towards the close of our Washington, D.C. program, so I want to take a moment to recognize the efforts of everyone who helped make this conference a success, and especially recognize the Washington, D.C. Annual Conference Host Committee led by Regional Chair Janet Nuzum and Margaret Comiskey. You want to stand? Oh, where are they? Come on. Really wonderful job. And we also want to take this time to thank the many volunteers who joined us today, the employees today at the hotel who helped us run this conference. And by the way, it's not too soon to start planning for the conference next year. So we hope that you'll join us next year. And here to tell you more about it is our USJC board member, who, by the way, yesterday had a standing room only climate tech showcase, Aya Kamada.
Thank you so much, Fred. Thank you, everybody. I hope your energy is up. We're almost there. We'll have cocktails very soon. I hope you had a great time in Washington, D.C. this year. Just like Fred, I want to thank Janet, Margaret, the local host committee, Shane Graves, Ika Harris, and the USJC staff, because this does not get put together in a day. It took literally a year, and I am starting that journey today as the chair of next year's USJC annual conference back in Tokyo. Tokyo, everybody. So I hope you are all coming and bring your friends, because again, it's going to be around Halloween time, and you know how it goes in Halloween and Shibuya. They cracked down quite a bit this year, but we don't know about next year. So please bring your outfits and we will have a party. Speaking of mentors, and I think Fred must have mentored so many people and inspired so many, my mentor was Donna Cole. Donna, where are you? Donna Cole. Cole Chemicals CEO. She brought me into USJC many years ago while I was working for Shell in Houston office. And when I attended the USJC conference, I realized this is where I feel at home. I am accepted. I can be myself. And I'm continue to be inspired by leaders that are clearly leaders, and also, you know, people that I met through the Tomodachi programs and ELP. They are leaders. They're not students, they're leaders. They inspire me so much, so I wanted to give more and do more. And years later, look where I am. I'm on the board of US-Japan Council in Japan. And by the way, my board and council member colleagues are very honored to be here in DC as well. I also want to share with you last year in Tokyo, where Scott Sato did a great job hosting. I gave a speech about decarbonization by a 470-year-old sake maker, Yoshinogawa. They were making sustainable sake, but they didn't know how to market themselves outside of Japan. Well, ELP folks showed up, tasted this wonderful sake, and they, by word of mouth, especially with the help of Robert Gondo, they found a Texas distributor for Yoshinogawa for their sustainable sake. So thank you so much, ELP, and this is an example of how we make a positive difference from people to people and displaying the fantastic leadership. So next year in Tokyo, please mark your calendars, late October, once again in Shibuya, and we will make it the best Halloween ever. However, I can't do it by myself. I'm the chair. I'm looking for vice chair and committees. So wink, wink, the emerging youth leaders, wink, wink, sponsors, wink, wink, people who know a lot about Japan and have connections. Please help me. Please help me make it the best USJC conference ever. See you next year at Halloween. Thank you.
Thank you, Aya, and thank you for your leadership, too. Really appreciate it. And she really mentioned Halloween several times. Bring your costume, she said. I don't assume it's going to be that we're going to be meeting each other in Halloween costumes at the floor of the hotel the way we did. I remember in Hawaii, we all wore Aloha shirts, and that was really nice. But it will be Halloween around that time next year. So put those dates on your calendar, and as for the location, it'll be the Cerulean Tower Tokyo Hotel in Shibuya, where we had our conference last year. Now, as we close our conference today, we at USJC want to take the time to recognize the hope and the resilience of the people of Maui. Now, 3 months ago, it was August 8th, the island of Maui suffered the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history. Grass fires that were whipped up by high hurricane winds in dry conditions. Lives, history, and tangible memories were lost from the historic town of Lahaina and nearby neighborhoods. Members Derek Yanehiro and Jan Yanehiro, both natives of Hawaii, by the way, produced a short video on what happened that day.
It was one of the deadliest wildfires in U.S. history in more than a century, and it was Hawaii's worst natural disaster in modern history. On the island of Maui, the town of Lahaina, once the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom, was left virtually in ashes.
I then make my way to the now infamous Front Street. I'm headed toward the historic downtown Lahaina, the heart and soul of Maui. The scope of this disaster is becoming more and more clear. House after house disintegrated.
But through the smoke and heartbreaking devastation and tragedy, 2 words emerged.
Maui strong!
Chef Roy Yamaguchi flew to Maui to do what he does best, cook for survivors, volunteers, and first responders. Olympic gold medalist Kristin Yamaguchi immediately opening her Maui condo in North Ka'anapali for a family in need. At the Japanese Cultural Center of Hawaii, the I Maui event, I means love in Japanese, raised $51,000 for Maui. Working behind the scenes, Blair Suzuki hired displaced Maui workers to clean schools, banks, markets, and businesses.
Maui strong!
American Savings Bank in Hawaii is donating $100,000 to Maui. Island Insurance Foundation is also giving $100,000.
With $50,000 to get this going.
We also want to say mahalo to the government of Japan for giving $2 million for the rebuilding efforts on Maui. So many members are stepping up in so many ways.
USJC members will always support Maui strong!
Now, the second part of our closing segment pays tribute to Maui and Lahaina through music and dance. Kristin is honored to perform for you today. She's been studying hula for over 30 years, and she'll be performing Lahaina Luna, an iconic song written by Kui Lee honoring Lahaina. One of the most famous lines of this song is Maui no ka oi, or Maui is the best. Now, the version of the song that she'll be dancing to was recorded by George Kahumoku Jr., who has run the Slack Key Show at the Napili Kai Beach Resort on Maui for over 20 years. Kristin is wearing pink to honor Maui, and her lei has a pink rose in it as a tribute to the flower for the island of Maui. Now, Kristin would also like to convey her thanks to Troy Hashimoto, who's ELP class of 22, and also state representative from Maui, as well as Susan Icor, she's a USJC Legacy Council member, for their help in preparing for this. Now, the title of the closing segment is Aloha Kekahi I Kekahi, and it reminds us to love one another always and it consistently show each other love, caring, and compassion. Mahalo nui loa to the many USJC members who have supported Maui during this time, and thank you for allowing us to honor Maui and Lahaina today.
They say that Maui no ka'o, and I agree. Maui no ka'o is the only place for me. That's where you find me. Down by the seaside, watching the moonlight, the twinkling starlight, the morning sunrise, the golden sunset. They say that Maui no ka'o, and I agree. 'Cause Maui no ka'o is the only place for me. That's where you find me. Down by the seaside, watching the moonlight, the twinkling starlight, the morning sunrise, the evening sunset, in Lahaina.
Thank you, Kristin. What a beautiful and graceful way to end our programming today. Thank you again. Now, with that, we'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. And thanks to the speakers, our organizers, our host committee members, volunteers, our sponsors, and our staff for bringing us this wonderful, diverse program that you've seen for the last day and a half. And we also want to thank you for joining us, spending your precious time with us, and supporting USJC and our important mission. And as a final reminder, it's back to the headsets. Yeah, if you've still got an interpreting headset, please return it to us before you leave the venue tonight. And please also join us at the adjacent Rock Creek Ballroom. That's where we'll have our reception so you can continue networking until 7 p.m. 本日はありがとうございました。また来年、東京でお目にかかりましょう。So, good day, everyone, and in the spirit of Hawaii and Maui, mahalo and aloha. Thank you.